thank you for stepping up. I know it was last minute, and really appreciate that. But the song, I can only imagine having the consciousness of walking with the Christ and being aware of that heavenly state. Isn't that what we've been working on all month? Isn't that what our life is about? Not waiting to a moment where we cross over to do it, but doing it right here, right now, in our consciousness. So this has been our series talking about the gifts of spirit in a very metaphysical way. You know, the ability to hear God, the ability to heal, the ability to know intuitively. All of those beautiful gifts that flow through us, and taking them and making them very real in our world. So all month long we've been talking about the spiritually natural gifts. They are natural. So when you use them, it makes you look like a supernatural being, doesn't it? But it really is a spiritually natural condition. How to heal, talk to God, create with God. And today I wanted to talk about the spiritual support that we have. So for a lot of you, this will be review, I hope. For some of you, you may be able to pick up some information. I may just be teacher, I may be just reminder today, I may be inspire today. But what I'm going to share with you is based on our understanding metaphysically of the celestial world and based on my experience with them. Okay? So we talk about angels a lot. Do you not talk about angels every day?
Yes.
And think about how you use the idea of your angels. What is the one thing that you use them for? More than anything else? Protection. Actually, you use them for protection. Angels, be with my kid as they're out there. Angels, be on our trip, keep us safe. Angels, be with me here, be with me there. We're always using our angels for protection. We use our angels to surround our cars, right? Angel on the back, angel on the front, angel on the left, angel on the right, angel in the middle. The minute you do that, everybody moves away from you. And it's true, you should try it on one of the highways. Just put the angels all around you, and all of a sudden you'll be driving by yourself. Your own little space. We also use our angels for healing, don't we? When we're sick. Oh, need some healing angels today. So we call upon them when we need them. So I will speak to you from what I know and understand. Angels are beings that are real, and they have never left the will of God. They are the emissary of the light and love that God is. They cannot be manipulated to do your bidding. They will only move in a way that is love and light. But they are here to serve mankind. Of course, there are angels of everything, but the angels that we work with are here to serve us. They're here to help us accomplish what we decide to accomplish. And they will always help us move to that which is good for our highest and best. They will help us move to that if we ask and allow. And when I say they can't be used as a magic wand, angel, let me win the lottery. That's not necessarily for your highest and best. But you can say, help me with this project, or guide me in a way that I am where I need to be. Now you have given them permission to intercede. A lot of times if you just wake up and say, oh, good morning, angels, blah, blah, here I go about my day, they are with us, but do they have permission to intercede? Because they are here to help mankind grow and help mankind create and help our choices. Okay, I know I'm saying that complicated. Angels are here to support our desires. They can't direct or intervene unless you ask. Is that clear? Mm-hmm. They can't direct or intervene unless you ask. So if your prayer is, put me where I need to be today, they can intervene. When you're at work and the pen falls to the floor for the third time, and you've picked it up for the third time, you might want to stop and say, okay, angels, what do I need to be doing now? What are you trying to show me? What are you trying to do to help me be where I need to be? Does that make sense? And I have shared with you many, many times, I had an agreement with my angels when I was in corporate, and I kept the books of about 4 or 5 small companies. And I would be working, and they would give me a headache. And I would stop what I was doing, I would put it away, and I would just open my heart, and I'd say, show me what needs to be done. Because I knew they were trying to tell me. Because my prayer was always, I can't do this without you guys. You need to show me. I would open my desk, and there would be a report that was due that day. And these are major things. These were not little things. It was a corporate report, it was a report to a bank, it was a report to the government, who knows. There were so many reportings. They always guided me. I never missed a lick. And did I know what I was doing? No. I wasn't on top of it. I was barely automated. Most of it was manual. I used them all the time to help me. Now, can some of you think that you might be needing to do that as you're doing your stock purchases? As you're doing your buys and sells? As you're doing your whatever it is that you do? Giving permission for those angelic forces to move through you. Show me what is for my highest and best and keep me in that space. But then you have to be willing to be adjusted. I have a client who's very sweet, and he does buy and sell, and I don't think he'll mind me sharing this with you, because you don't know him. He lives in another state. And he buys and sells things, and he says, yes, I'm working with my angels and guides, my guidance, and I said, well, are you hearing them? Yeah. And they told me to sell, and did you? No. I thought I need to hold a few more minutes. And did you lose? Yes. And the next time, all right, how's it going? I'm hearing them more and more clearly. Are you doing it? Not yet. Are you making money? No. But his whole thing must be to hear. It's just to hear. And he's playing on a low level. He's just playing on, let's just say grocery funds, for example. Just on a low level, but he's learning to hear very distinctly. But his spirit isn't ready to cooperate. So divine intervention will not punch the button for you. It still requires human interaction. Human interaction. All right. Angels are known as the breath of God. They always need permission because their job is to help you. So, they are the least seen because they are the most familiar. They are around us all the time. So they are not readily seen because they're always there. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's familiar. So we look at the anomalies. The anomalies shock us. A ghost will shock you more quickly than an angel because we're with the angels all the time. Y'all with me? So, have you ever dreamed of angels? In a dream, when an angel appears, they are dimensional. They look so rich and so full of love. They make us look like paper dolls. They make us feel one-dimensional because they are so full and real. And there is nothing but love coming from them. There is no opinion. There is and normally they ask in questions when they're that way. Would you consider, have you thought about, how long are you going to do this? How long are you going to do this? You could do this. But they never come with directives that are forceful and without that beautiful love, because they are love. So the energy of the angelic beings, whether you can see them or not, is that love presence. And you can call your awareness to them just by asking to become aware of them. But they're there. We are told that we have a guardian angel that's with us before we are born and through our death that helps us cross over. I believe that to be true, and I believe that the guardian angel is the least recognized of all of our angelic team. Because, yeah. You know everything, you put up with everything, yeah. We don't really look to the one that's been walking with us. But that guardian has our plan in their sights as well. They know what we're here to do. They will always prepare you. They will always prepare you for what's coming because they know. And they are your constant companion. What a beautiful thing, huh? All right. So, there are angels of music, there are angels of healing, there are big angels of big things. But for us, what we want to do is start realizing that to cooperate with the angelic forces, we need to ask. and we need to ask for intervention. Help me with that. Help me with that. Does that make sense to you guys? And there's time for an angel, and then there's a time for a guide. Ready? Guides are typically people who have actually lived on the earth before. They've had incarnations, and they're on the other side. And then they are assigned people to help, or they might come in at an odd moment to help you. But they bring you guidance, that's why they're called guides, for things that you don't normally have expertise for. Do you think I ask for a guide when I walk into the kitchen? And an angel? Everything. Everything. Divine intervention, angels, guides, and teachers. Yes. I've seen them so many times. Guides typically come in there's two kinds. There's either a family guide or there's a specialty guide. The specialty would be the one that comes into the kitchen with me, unless it's my grandmother. Then she's family. Some people have grandmothers or fathers or mothers or relatives that choose to be guides to help guide their family line. But you know, they kind of know what you're doing. They kind of know where you're headed, and they comfort you when you need to be comforted. They might just sit on your bed while you're sleeping just to talk to your subconscious mind and let you know it's going to be okay. They are there to help guide. I have, over the years, over 30 years, I have seen and heard grandmothers and mothers helping their child or grandchild find their mate. Like, I am really trying hard to get that person over here so this person can meet them. You know, like they're trying to get them together because their children are so stubborn that they're not opening their eyes, you know. So they'll do things like that. They'll try to get you where you need to be. They'll help you. And you can always tell when one of them are around, especially family members, there will be a smell. They love to put the smell out. You know, the perfume, kitchen smell. My grandmother smelled like the heat rub that you would put on your body. I don't know the name of it, but I could smell it. Yeah, my grandfather is the pipe. I always know when he's there, you know. And so then I stop and talk to them. Do I think I smell it and go, oh yeah, you're here? No. Oh, you're here. Let me pause. Let me stop. Let me just connect with you, and let me just ask, you know, what's happening? Is there anything I need to know that I might be missing? You're just here to help me in the kitchen. That's great. You know? And really start connecting with them because they're coming for a reason. When I was little, the first one I saw, and I've shared this with you several times, I was probably 19 or 20. I was doing books. And this company, Ancient History, you had to do their journals manually. Journals are manual. Then you take the manual journals and you manually put them into a general ledger. Then you manually take that general ledger and you produce financial statements. And if you're off, there is nobody to help you. And you have to chase a penny. You cannot be off. You can't be off. And with all that manual, add, manual, I was not off often, but when I was off, I was off. And I remember asking, I just said, God, you have got to help me now. Please, I've got to get this report done, and I really need help. And a man came into my office with a black suit on. Of course, this is Ancient History, so he was an older guy, dressed in like the 40s. And he looked at me and he said, get up and get out. I said, okay. He was a ghost, guys, but he was visible. Get up and get out. Okay, so I got out of my office, went to my boss's desk, sat for a minute. Then he said, okay. I came back in, and he wasn't mean, but he was gruff, because he was from the 40s, accountant from the 40s. He was gruff. So I came back in, he walked out the door. I sat down, looked down, and dang, it was right there. My eye went right to it. I went, oh my God, there it is. Thank you! Because I was a young pup. But they will come for the smallest things. They will come for the smallest things. My other one that I tell you that I just these were so important to me. These were so important to me. I had moved into my home. I had my little baby. It was by myself. And that was back in the day when they, again, Ancient History. Your phone, you literally had to plug into the wall by wiring it. Bell South, Ancient History, would sell you a phone, which you had to take, and you had to take screwdrivers. And you had to undo the wires, and you had to put them in and screw them in again. They had quit installing phones at that time. So I'm doing this, and it's not working. And it's not working. And I started to cry. And I said, God, and David was like 2. I said, God, you promised me I'd be able to make it without a man's help. You promised me I could survive. Because I was a single mom. Guy walks in with his tool belt, and he says, give me your hands. Okay, you can have my hands. He moved it. It was installed in a matter of seconds, maybe a minute, and it worked. And I said, thank you so much, and he left. They're very real, these guides. They come to help us, and they're specialties. They're specialties. If you start a new venture, you can always ask for a guide with that venture. You know, if you're starting a new company, you can ask for a guide that can help you get the company off the ground. If you're weak in an area or something's going on, you can ask for guides to come help you with that. Now, the idea of having another human being on the other side helping you, does that freak you out?
A little bit.
Okay. Thank you for your honesty. But you know, I bet everyone in this room, when you cross over on the other side and one of your family members is in trouble, you will be banging on the door saying, put me in, coach. Put me in. I want to guide them. And these people that you're going to guide will think that it's not possible that you're even there. Do you see? But it's a very real experience. So when we talk about guides, that's what we're talking about, the guides that are working with you in your life right now. Take a breath. All right. Some of these guides have specialty skill sets, and they can be guides or teachers. Guides bring knowledge. They can teach you specialties, and some of them will stay quickly, some of them will go quickly. Then we move into teachers. And guides can be a teacher, but a teacher's a teacher. So a teacher is somebody on the other side that has elected to teach. And they will help you when you come into instruction. Or if you're studying, if you're taking any class or trying to expand yourself in any way, you can call forth a teacher that can help you understand what you're working on. If you're starting to study astrology, which is extremely complicated, you can have teachers come help you with that. If you're studying anything that's complicated, you can call forth teachers that will help you with that. And they stay in your consciousness only when you need them. Like when you're studying, they're with you. They will step back in your daily life when you don't need them. But when you're ready now to go back to the subject, they're there to help. Do you all understand? So they are beings that are dedicating their lives to help everyone who might need their expertise, their specialty. So some have incarnated and have lived on the earth plane, some have not. Some are spiritual beings that have never incarnated. They're just celestial beings of light. They allow you to access greater wisdom and understanding because they have it. You can access their wisdom and understanding. And it really does help us expand our consciousness. All right. Angels, guides, and teachers, and then the Celestial Brotherhood of Light. There is a group of beings who are completely dedicated to the transformation of mankind. They hold an energy of love over this planet that is pure, it's Christed, it is only God. And the energy they hold, we have access to, but in that energy is the knowledge of why we're here and the entire universe. It's just the knowledge of man's journey. This group of beings represents the angels, there are Christmas angels, the angels that come, and they're actually Brotherhood of Light, they're wise, they're the ascended ones. So I wanted to share with you when Jesus spoke with them, just a few times. We know that they reference the angels being with Jesus. We don't really hear much about guides and teachers with him, but we do hear about the Celestial Brotherhood of Light. When he was young and traveling, and he went back to I believe it was Persia, and he met the 3 wise men as a young man. The 3 wise men had come to his birth. He met them, and 2 of them were very old, and then 3 other masters, and they were in Persia celebrating Jesus, the young man. And it said, when he met them, they listened to his stories, and then the 7 of them sat 7 days in silent council in the hall, in close communion with the silent brotherhood. They were seeking light for the revelation and for the power, the laws and the precepts of the coming age. And they wanted to access the wisdom of the masters of the world. When Jesus was preparing for his last year on the planet, he went about alone. And he went to a famous Jewish mountain. He wanted to kneel and connect with his heritage before his last year when he knew he was going to be crucified. And he said he stood on the lofty peaks of Mount Hermon, lifting his eyes to God. And the masters of the olden times revealed themselves, and long did they talk about the kingdom of the Christ, and about the mighty work that had been done, about the coming conquest of the cross, and about the victory over death. And this communion prepared him for what he was going to face. And then right before he faced it, we're told in the story of the Mount of Transfiguration, Peter, James, and John saw Jesus talking to men in white, and there was a master that talked to them. And the master said to Peter, James, and John, "These men are Moses and Elijah who are come, that you may know that heaven and earth are one. And the masters there and the masters here are one. The veil that separates the worlds is but an ether veil. Those who purify their hearts, the veil can be rolled aside." And then they got to watch as Jesus communed with these light beings, these masters, the celestial brotherhood. He had communion with them because his mission was one with that, the upliftment of mankind, that greater knowledge. Our mission as individuals might be just to cook something in the kitchen. Who knows what our individual missions are? But we, as divine children of God, have access to everything. We have access to the celestial brotherhood, and we have access to the angels, guides, and teachers. The celestial brotherhood must be consciously called to make connection. You have to consciously ask for that connection. And I know that every one of you felt them at some time or another. When you get that feeling within and you feel God and you're lifted up and you're expanded and you feel the love that surrounds our planet, and no matter what the news is telling us, there is a beautiful love that surrounds this earth and mankind. And that's when we're touching that celestial energy of love and hope and hope and hope and hope. It's bigger than all of us. So when we think about everything that I've talked about today, I want to put it in perspective. You ready? Okay. If you know you have angels, and you know you have guides, and you know you have teachers, and you know there's a greater celestial energy that's protecting and guiding us, all part of God, it's all part of God. What is your responsibility in this relationship? And they gave me the vision of like a child going to school. Your responsibility is to get up, get your books, and go to school. And while you're in school, you're supposed to pay attention to your teachers, and you're supposed to pay attention to what's going on, and you're supposed to do your job. And then you come back. And when you come back home, you are in the energy of the parent again. And it's in the energy of the parent that you have the knowing of safety, of love, of peace, of angels, guides, and teachers, of the celestial kingdom of light. When you go to school, you are doing your life. We're not supposed to stop and say, okay, tell me what foot to raise next. Where do I go now? We're supposed to move in the energy of sharing our divine light and joy in doing our job, knowing we can access them, but not consciously pulling on them every second, knowing they are a part of our home, they're a part of our base, they're part of who we are, but we are still doing our job. Does that make sense? Okay. When I pray with you, if you've ever had a counseling session with me, I do the same prayer. I say, God, I ask that my Christ or my higher self be fully present in my body, and I ask that my client's Christ or higher self be fully present in their body. And what is your Christ or higher self? It is the part of you that is perfect in God love. Let me read From the great heart of love, unnumbered spirits went forth to demonstrate the height, the depth, the width, and the boundlessness of love. That is you. You went forth from God's heart to demonstrate all these things, to learn about matter, to learn about creation, to learn about all these things. That is you. That's your perfect nature, not your personality. So, I ask that my perfect nature be within me, your perfect nature be within you. I welcome your angels, your guides, your teachers. And I say it every single time, and what I see is different every single time, because I see them coming in. Boom, boom, boom. And you can feel them. And you can see if someone's having trouble. You can see if someone's mother's sitting right on their crown chakra. You can see what's happening, and they can feel it. And the words may be the same, but the energy is different every time. And I bring in my angels, guides, and teachers as well. And then I ask Jesus Christ to join us, which is our connection to the celestial, our connection to that celestial brotherhood of light. Anytime you bring in his energy, you're bringing that brotherhood of light in. And when we lift up to that, then we can see with different eyes choices. We can see with different eyes what we could do, what might happen. We can see, we can talk, we can replan, we can negotiate, we can do all these beautiful things in a reading or a counseling session. That's fabulous, and you feel great when you leave, but guess whose job it is to make the choice once you're out the door? It's yours. You may get a great insight, say, that's fabulous, and go out the door and say, I can't do that. I'm not ready to sell that yet. I'm not ready to do that yet. That cost is too high for me. Do you hear what I'm saying? On this earth plane, nothing is going to make you. Only you choose. Do you have, just in our little moment today, do you have just a little bit of a new awareness or understanding of the team that's here to support you? Do you know that you are not alone? Do you realize that every single thing that you would call a miracle that you've been through, where matter has moved in a way it shouldn't, you were being helped? You're being helped. So we all have that beautiful opportunity now to go out. Every one of you has that opportunity to go out that door and do life differently. Guess what? You might not. You might not. And it's okay. It's okay. But I share with you what I know. I don't want to walk out the door without it. I don't want to walk out the door unless I'm prayed up with Spirit, my team is with me, and I'm ready to go. And I don't want to miss what they say, even though I do. I don't want to do that. And one day, it is my goal to be welcomed by the Celestial Brotherhood of Light and have them say, good job, you done good. All right, so let's center in, put your feet on the floor. And I want you to see a beautiful column of light come over you now. And I want you to feel safe in God's heart. Just for a minute. Can you just feel your heart? Let your focus go to your heart and just feel your heart. Everyone, let your thoughts go. Go to your heart. Let your thoughts go. Go to your heart. Go to your heart. Take a breath. As I say these words, say them inside your heart to yourself. I ask that my divine, I am Christ in nature, be present in me. Just feel. I welcome my angels to come into my awareness. And you may see a color or feel something, just say that. I welcome my angels to come into my awareness. And you might want to say to them, and I ask that you hold me in the right and perfect space this day for me. I welcome any guides that might be with me. Step forward. And I thank you. And I now open to all teachers that are teaching me. For whatever I might have asked, I welcome all of my teachers. And thank them. And their energy is different. And it feels different. But feel the receptivity and support. I am now open to feeling the celestial brotherhood of light. And as you say that, feel the presence of Jesus Christ coming towards you. There is only love for you and only love for mankind. And feel gratitude in your heart. God, our Father, our Mother, I ask that you bless each soul here. I ask that they go forward knowing they are spiritually empowered, supported in every way, and guided. Let them find the genius and express it freely. And I would invite you all to just breathe and feel your heart expanding. Feel that great love that engulfs you. Send that love into the room. And let your focus come back to your body. Feel the chair. Feel your feet. I am God's child. And take a breath. And gently open your eyes. Well, I hope you feel empowered. And I would invite you to at least one time this week, when something starts to bother you, bring up the message. Angel, guide, teacher, what do I need? Maybe all of them. Call them forward. Ask for that help. Ask for that guidance. And realize how truly supported you are on this journey. Say yay, God.
Yeah.
All right, before I step down, I wanted to just let you guys know that we will be, in January, opening up our higher education program. And this, we start with the Metaphysics 1, which is a 6-week class to teach you the basic fundamentals of metaphysics and how energy and God are interacting in our world. And that's the first class, starts in January 6th. There are 3 more 6-week classes throughout the year if you wanted to go forward with it. But Meta 1 is very good. We're going to do an announcement later about it. But I wanted to let our people on YouTube know that you guys can Skype in if you want to take the class. So these guys will be embodiment, and you guys can Skype in. So we're opening it to the world. Now, I'm saying yay, God.